Two concepts will be explored in this video. First of all, there are many people who think that their problem is they don't make enough money. And unless you're making absolutely no money, that's not your problem. Your problem is how you view money and how you manage money. If you don't manage your money properly, your money's going to manage you. That seems to be the case of most of the folks in the United States of America. They're not managing their money's managing you. And before you can be an entrepreneur, launch a business, this is critical. You have to learn how to control your money, which means, in essence, controlling you. So, this is the deal. Number one, everyone thinks a hustler is someone that just pops up, makes money, dips out. No. A lot of the true hustlers actually are quite stable. A lot of the true hustlers have excellent credit scores because they make enough money to fulfill all their needs, wants, and desires without having to try to attempt to live on credit, which is what a lot of people do. They use credit as an extension of income when really credit should be used as a convenience. You got to get control of your money spending habits. You have to. It is detrimental to your wealth building process. Essentially, if you don't control what you're making now and make good use of the funds that you have coming in now, if you were to win the lottery, 90% of you would be like 90% of the lottery winners who are broke within 5 years. Now, let's talk about the lottery winners, because I see some of the craziest stuff. Oh, X amount, someone won, and it takes them 6 months to come forward to claim their money. Now, it's a fear of money that prompts this, because if you're not a criminal, you don't owe a lot of money, and even if you did, you're getting millions of dollars, I would be at the lottery office the next day. Or if I got the ticket early in the morning, I would be there that afternoon. A lot of people are really afraid of money. Case in point, you hear the story all the time in the news. Someone finds a large sum of money. And the whole deal is, turn it in. Is it illegal to keep it? Turn it in, whatever. I have done a lot of research recently, and I can't really find anyone that's turned in a large sum of money that got to keep it, that it was returned to them. Once it goes into the authorities, that proper system, it never comes out. There's actually police traps up in Tennessee that they seize your money if you have it, and they don't arrest you. It's all about the money. So if you be boo-boo the fool and find $200,000 in cash and turn it in, do not hold your breath waiting to get it back. Now let's talk about, is it illegal to have money? No. What is illegal is earning large sums of money through an illegal process such as selling drugs or other types of crime. That's the illegal part. The money itself is not illegal. It's how you get it. And if you find it, you didn't break any laws. And if you're an honest person and you want to get that money back, this is what you do. You scan all the newspapers, you call up the police station from a payphone and say, hey, did someone report a large sum of money missing? And they go, yeah. And you ask, how much? And if they give you a number that is not what you have, guess what? That's not their money. And you do this, and you owe the money for 90 days. And you keep looking, you keep looking. And if nobody pops up or no one fits that profile, that's your money. Now clearly, if you find it in a bank bag and it fell off an armored car, that's on you, because you know where the money came from. But if it's just straight cash, and especially if it's in a storage unit and you're going to turn it in, oh my God. Let's discuss why people feel that way. In the United States of America, we've been conditioned to fear wealth and money. Either it's something you'll never get, or it's something that is evil. Think about it. We've been conditioned that cash is bad. I'll give you an example. Years ago, I was subletting this office from this guy, and there was something going on, and it was like I was in the office and it was time to pay the rent. And I did not have any checks on me, but I had the rent in my pocket in cash. So I counted out $500. Dude wanted to shit a brick. He was like, whoa, 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 I feel like a mafioso carrying this much cash. I don't carry cash, blah, blah. I don't carry. And I'm just like, you gotta be kidding me. It's only $500. we get all these messages that only bad people have large sums of cash. We get these messages that only people with jacked up credit have large sums of cash or use cash for everything. And cash is nasty. It's bad. And let's not get this twisted with the silver and gold commodities thing. Because you take the gold, you sell it, what do you get? You get money. That's what spends. Until we get on a system where you can wheel and deal in gold and silver, we're going to strictly deal with the dollar. But those are the fears that run rampant in our society. And it keeps people from becoming wealthy. Because subconsciously, you think cash is bad. You think wealth is bad. So you subconsciously do things to keep you from getting there. And one of the biggest things you do is what I call the launch pad checking account. Your money comes in and the launch is immediately out. You are uncomfortable actually having money somewhere. Because if you feel it, and I hear it on Clark Howard and other shows, it's like, hey, I got $10,000 and you do something with it. No, you don't. Until you get 10 to 20 grand in an account to carry you through an emergency, and preferably a money market account, you need to have 10 to 20 grand cash somewhere that you can get your hands on like that at all times. You need that as a safety net in case you get laid off, injured, or something happens. I want you to think about this. Most emergencies that occur in your house, financial emergencies, you may need to get a plane ticket and go somewhere or something, $2,000 will cover 90% of that. $2,000. 50% of the people in this country don't even have $2,000 cash. The average Mexican can go in his pocket and get that. So let's start reorientating and changing our mindset about cash. Cash is not a bad thing. Having large cash is not. But that is something that can keep you from moving forward in the business. Now back to the hustler mindset. You need to have great credit. It is essential as an entrepreneur. You have to have it. And it's not about the credit cards. It's about when you get your merchant account. Your credit score determines what your transaction rate's going to be, and that's money in your pocket. Business insurance, once again, they check you. Huge life insurance policy, once again, they go to your credit report. There's so many things that have nothing to do with actual credit that they go to your report and make a determination if they're going to charge you X amount of dollars. Usually, the lower your score, the more you're going to pay. It is asinine. I don't think that it should work that way, but it does. Like, one of the silliest things I think is a correlation between your credit score and your driving record. I don't get it, I don't understand, but it's just another way to get more money out of your pocket. So, knowing that that's how the game is played, you need to do everything in your power to make sure your credit is straight. And having great credit and a high score has nothing to do with income. Let's dispel that myth. It has nothing to do with income. It's all about money management. You have people out there that know how the game is played, make 25, 30 grand a year with $100,000 in open, unsecured credit lines. It happens all the time. Because this is how it goes. You get that first card, it starts you off at $5,000. Then, you keep it for a few years, you're at 12 to 20. Then, here comes a pre-approved offer. And over a course of 4 or 5 years, you've got 5 or 6 of those cards between 15 and 25 grand. That's 100 grand right there in unsecured credit. And that happens a lot because it's about money management. So you need to have large open credit lines. Not to use, not to fund your business, but to offset the actual spending you do. If you're going to utilize, say you need to be in debt to the tune of 20 grand on your credit cards. If you got $150,000 open credit, it actually raises your score. But if you're like most people, you got $25,000 worth of credit and you're maxed out. Your credit score is because you're maxed out. Even though it's the same level of debt, is how it looks, and is how it looks on a spreadsheet. It's like, wow, it's $150,000 worth of unsecured debt. $150,000 worth of open credit lines. Bam, but you're only using 20. So you look very conservative. Whereas if you're using the whole 25, you look very risky. Same level of debt is just how it's situated. And this is something anyone can do. Because, part of getting ready to run a business, whether it's storage auctions or any other business, is you've got to have the proper financial foundation. And this isn't having huge amounts of money. That helps. But having a proper business and financial education will teach you how to make a lot of money when you have none. It's going to be a matter of time, discipline, and consistency. Many of you out there right now, if you get in the storage auction business right now, if you follow this plan and you get yourself a war chest, because in my book I have some parameters of what you need to go out to the storage auctions, and you need to have that, what I call operating capital, that is above, beyond, and aside from your personal expenses. Say your monthly outgo is $3,500, okay, and you earn $4,000. You cannot, essentially you only have $500 worth of disposable income. And for a lot of people trying to go to the auction, that's frustrating. So this is what you do. For 4 months, you put that $500, bam, to the side. And when you get to $2,000, that's when you jump in the game. Or, as one of my students, and this is really wild, because it seems, and motivation is strong. This guy didn't have a job. When he got a job, it was hand to mouth, but he saved $100 a month for a year. He went to auctions when he could. He also got pimping Craigslist, and he was using that. So by the time he was able to go out to storage auctions, he had $4,000. This is a guy who didn't have a job when he bought my book, and he has not looked back. He is like in the upper echelon of his storage auction crew. And this is a guy that's only been in the game 2 years. He's in the upper echelon. And he's turned that $4,000 in operating capital to 10. Why? Because this is what he did. He told me, he's like, I fixed my lunch. I didn't go out to dinner. For the last year, I did not see one movie that wasn't free on television. He completely got rid of anything in his life that was fat. If he didn't absolutely need it, he didn't bring it in his life. He stacked that cash, and he stacked that cash. Now, he has a great business. He's got money coming in, and that's the thing. You got to have discipline. Because another reason I did this video is because in the last video, I flashed some cash, and a lot of people said something. One person in the group said something, and I got a lot of emails about that, and people are like, hey, that ain't cool, that's scary, someone can knock you over the head. And I'm going to tell you, for years, I walked around with 10 to 20 grand in my pocket, and no one knew, because I didn't look like I had it. I was in a truck. I was in an old BMW. I didn't look like I had that type of money. Message there, I hope you absorb it. So nothing happened to me. Nothing. I mean, I'll be honest, I probably, because it's a habit, I don't feel comfortable like going out in the world without at least $500 cash on me, because funky stuff happens with credit cards. I mean, seriously, I was in London, and I called these people. I called the credit card company, and my car still was shut off. If I didn't have cash on me, I would have been in trouble in that particular evening, because once I got to a phone and I called and we cleared it all up. But because I was able to go in my pocket and like life went on, and we continued to have a good time. You just like, and even at the storage auctions, when I used my credit card, I always had whatever I was going to spend that day in cash in my pocket. I would buy with the credit card to get points, take that money, and pay that night. Transfer from the checking account to the credit card that night. Not the end of the month, not the end of the week, that night. Because that keeps you honest. So if you've got discipline, you can get killer buku points. Killer buku points on your credit cards if you go to auctions that accept credit cards. I'm telling you, it's crazy what you can rack up. But that's kind of the deal. You got to have those financial management tools. And you need to start right now where you are with what you have. if you only make $1,500 a month, you need to sit down, not in your head, not all, kind of figured in your head, write it on paper and include everything. If you chew gum, that gum is on your budget. Then you start separating the fat from the meat, and once you get rid of all that fat, even at $1,500 a month, you'll be able to save some money. This is something else. In trying to start a business, you have to do things that are different from other people. Give you another case. You got $1,500 a month, and say you're trying to live on your own. You're living in the hood. You're living in the hood. You're driving an old car. That's where you are. So let's rethink that. It's like, okay, I make $1,500 a month. I want to change my circumstances by creating a business. This is what you do. You ditch living alone. You get a room. Pay $400 or $500 a month. You get a room. Rent that for a year. You can stack damn near 10 grand if you did that, which will give you the capital to facilitate a better life. Because the thing is, we live in this country of immediate gratification, and it kills us because most of the things in life that are really worth having, it's not about instant gratification. In a business, I mean, if you just took 2 years and worked your butt off and built a business, I'm not even talking about, 6-figure income. I'm talking about, say this business makes you 60, 70 grand a year. You could do that in 2 years. You know you're not getting rich. You know you're not the diamond member, but you make more money than 80% of this country, and you control your destiny. But the first thing you have to do is learn how to manage you and your desires and how you handle your money. So here's a lesson plan for you. What you want to do at the end of this video is sit down, if you don't already have one, and create a budget, a written budget that includes everything. Your 401k contribution, health insurance, everything that comes out your checking account, it goes on the budget, and start going through there and saying, hey, do I really need this? Do I really, really need this? And if you don't, get rid of it. And I mean, seriously, if you're able to free up $250, $300 and save that for a year, bam, there you are, $3,000 operating capital to go to auctions. I'm going to tell you something. The average person that goes out to storage auctions, and that's why there's not a lot of bidding, because only 10% of the people consistently bid, and there's a reason for that, because they don't have the money. They have anywhere from $500 to $1,500. That's it. You get 3 grand, you've got twice what they have. I'm telling you, it's fun to buy multiple units in a week. It's a lot of fun, because another reason people going, hey, I'm waiting for that big one, I don't want to invest too much. The problem is, you don't have the money. You can't take any risk because what you have is your only shot. What I say is develop a bigger war chest so you can take multiple shots. That's how I won the game. I mean, seriously, I wouldn't have gotten to the position I arrived at in the game if I had kept doing the same things that everyone else was doing. I had a business plan. I had buying profiles per unit. I would sit down and crunch numbers every week, and I'm like, okay, I spent X amount for this unit, and there's a sweet spot that I spent, money per unit that had a greater yield, and it was really eye-opening. So you have to track the numbers. You really have to look. You have to fall in love with the numbers and stroke the numbers, because the numbers is what's going to liberate you from the life you have right now. It's not sexy. It's not fun. Sometimes it's boring, but the results are highly exciting. So that's the deal. You must manage your money, or your money's going to manage you. There's no way around it. All right, this is Glendon. We're making money with storage unit auction.